from Craft Me a Card, and I'm crafting for the crafter, and that is you. So for today, I want to share with you guys how I made this cute belated birthday card. He's so stinking cute, and I used my Cricut for this card. So come along as I share with you the process to making this cute little card. Okay, so first you want to bring in your base, whatever size of card you will be making. I always use a 6.5 by 5-inch card. I buy these pre-made cards at either Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or Joann's, and they come in a pack of about 50 card bases and their envelope. Next, you want to decide what you will be working with, and I decide to work with this black, yellow, and this cute printed bee cardstock. Okay, so once I have my colors picked out, I went ahead and I went onto my Cricut. And this is using the app on my phone. This is a screenshot of my phone, and I'm not going to go into details as to how I went to cutting it. I believe that there are plenty of videos out there showing you how to work the Cricut. It can be time consuming, but I kept it a little simple here. The bee is about 2.5 inches. Try not to go any smaller than that because it makes it a little difficult for the cutting and the putting together. This cute little bee is from the Create a Critter cartridge. Also from this group is the beehive. That's also from Create a Critter. And these little bees are from Walk in My Garden. They are cut out at about 1 inch. Okay, so I bring my first layer, which is going to be this yellow one. I go ahead and I put my card base on it, and with my crafter's knife, as always, I go around it, cutting it to the size of the base of the card. Here it is, perfect. Second layer is going to be this black, and I'm going to cut this 1/4 of an inch smaller than my card base. Okay, so now I bring in the pattern paper, and this is the one with the little bees, and I just cut this 1/2 inch smaller than my card base. Just like that. Okay, so here's a suggestion when you feel that the background paper is a little too loud for your image that is going to be placed on top. I bring in some vellum paper, and this will lighten the bees out a little bit, helping my main image to stand out a bit better. Okay, to hold these two papers, which is the pattern paper and the vellum in place, I thought it would be a good idea to use this corner punch. It is by Dress My Craft, and it's just a corner slot punch, it's called. And I bought this on Amazon, and I'll put the link for you down in the description box. Okay, so I go ahead and I cut my vellum to the size of that little bee, which is 1/2 inch smaller than my card base. And now I put these two together and I run them through the corners of this hole punch. Now this hole punch is a little tricky. Well, not too tricky. You just have to make sure that the piece of paper that is going to be going into these slots actually fits. So you might have to do a little bit of trimming here and there, but it's nothing too complicated, and I'm sure it's so possible for you to do. Okay, once that is set into place, I go ahead and I grab my liquid glue and I stick down the beehive first. And for my bee, I decided to stick her up, or him, up on these foam adhesives. And these are really squishy. These are not really foam. These are more like sponge. And I think they're perfect for when you need to mail a card. It really gives the card volume, but yet it doesn't add bulk to your card, making it easier to mail. I found these little sponge adhesives at the 99-cent store, and unfortunately, I have not been able to find any more. And I've been searching for about a year now. No luck. But what they do have plenty of is this foam adhesive, and this also gives a nice dimension to a project. So what I do with the little bees is I add some of this foam adhesive to the backing, and that brings them to life.
Time to work on the sentiment.
Yay! So for the sentiment, I have to apologize. I printed out the sentiment on my computer, and with a tag punch, I punched it out. And what I am doing here now is I am just going to punch out a little hole using a 1/18 of an inch hole punch, and I will run black string through it. So just by running it through and then doing a little knot, holds it into place, giving us a cute little sentiment. And this sentiment I cut out using the same light blue paper I used as the wings for the bees. To help give it a little bit more definition and depth, I went ahead and I just inked the edges using some antique linen distress ink and this ink blending tool. Okay, once the images have been adhered to the vellum, I go ahead and I flip the vellum around, and just the spots where the images are at, I add some liquid glue, and this is to hold the vellum a little more secure on top of that pattern paper. And I just go ahead and I run it through the corners that were punched, and that will set the top layer nicely. Okay, so before I place my first layer on the card base, I go ahead and I take weight off of it, and I cut out the inside piece that will not be seen. With some liquid glue, I just go ahead and I stick it on my card base. Now the card base is ready for the main piece. Just with some liquid glue, again, I go ahead and I add glue all around the back, and I add it to the card base on top of the yellow. Voila, magnifique. To give our little bee a little rosy cheeks, I go ahead and I grab some watercolor markers, and just by adding it on top of an acrylic block, I add some water, and I go ahead with a brush and I add these little cheeks to the little bee. So cute, adorable. Using my wink of Stella, I go ahead and I add a little bit of shimmer and shine to the wings of all the bees.
But what about those eyes?
Oh yes, those eyes, have not forgotten about them. With a little bit of glossy accents, I go ahead and I add some shine to those eyes, and that just brings them to life. Once the glossy accents dries, it will be clear, so you're going to have nice black shiny eyes on this bee. And with this, I complete this cute, happy, belated birthday card. And as always, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell, like, and comment. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you get inspired. I hope you create, and I hope you are happy. See you next time. Bye-bye. Where is my bee? Where is my bee? Oh my goodness. No, I had one more. The heck? Ah, little brat. What are you doing there?